Good day, everyone. Today I will be discussing the Cordillera Administrative Region. The Cordillera Administrative Region, also known as the Cordillera Region and Cordillera, is an administrative region in the Philippines, situated within the island of Luzon. It is the only landlocked region in the archipelago, bordered by the Ilocos region to the west and southwest, and by the Cagayan Valley region to the north, east, and southeast. The region comprises into six provinces. These are the Abra, or also known as the Natural Dye Capital, the Apayao, or the last frontier of the north, Benguet, also known as the Salad Bowl of the Philippines, the Ifugao, or the inhabitants of known earth, and Kalinga, or the Peacock of the north, and lastly the Mountain Province, also known as the Montanos. The regional center of is the highly urbanized city of Baguio, which is the largest city in the region. The region was officially created on July 15, 1987, covering most of the Cordillera mountain range of Luzon that is home to numerous ethnic groups. Nueva Vizcaya province has a majority Igorot population transplanted by the American colonial government in the Cagayan Valley region, instead during the early 20th century as Das Quirino. According to the 2020 Census of Population and Housing, this region is the least populated region in the Philippines, less than that of the national capital, the city of Manila. And now we'll be first tackling about the atmosphere of the Cordillera Administrative Region. We'll be tackling about the climate and weather. First, we have cold climate. The region generally experiences cooler temperatures compared to the rest of the Philippines, a direct result of its high elevation. And also the monsoon and rainy season, which rainfall is significant, with cloudy skies and rain showers common. Heavy rains can be expected, especially during tropical cyclones, which may increase precipitation even further due to the region's high mountains. Also, the influence of topography. The mountains are a major factors in the region's weather, influencing the amount and pattern of rainfall. For example, taller mountains are associated with more rainfall, while the absence of the mountain range can lead to a decrease in precipitation. These are the common atmospheric problems in the Cordillera Administrative Region. The common atmospheric problems in Cordillera Administrative Region include air pollution from vehicular and open burning sources and climate change impacts such as more frequent and intense rainfall, long dry spells, and extreme heat. These issues lead to secondary problems like increased landslides, erosion, and threats to agriculture and human health. And next, we'll be tackling about the positive impacts to the region. First, we have in agriculture. The cool climate benefits the growth of highland vegetables and certain crops that thrive in cooler temperatures, making the region a major source of product for the rest of the Philippines. And next, in tourism. The distinct cool weather and stunning mountain vistas attract tourists, particularly those seeking a respite from the heat in other parts of the country. The Baguio City is known as the summer capital. And next, the water resources. The The region's atmosphere and mountainous topography make it the watershed cradle of North Luzon, hosting major river systems that provide continuous water for irrigation and energy for the entire northern Luzon region. Next, we'll be tackling about the negative impacts of atmosphere in the region. First, we have in natural hazards, the combination of steep slopes, heavy rainfall, and seismic activity makes the region highly prone to landslides and flooding, which pose significant risks to communities. Infrastructure like roads often become impassable and lives. Next is agricultural vulnerability. While the cool climate is beneficial, extreme weather events, which are exacerbated by climate change, lead to crop failures, soil nutrient depletion, and make certain crops susceptible to diseases. Frost in high altitude areas like Benguet can also damage vegetable crops. And also the health risks. The extreme cold weather, especially during the northeast monsoon or the amihan, from November to April, can aggravate health conditions such as the upper respiratory tract infections, the asthma, and allergies. Next, we have the infrastructure challenges. The harsh conditions, particularly during the wet season, increase wear and tear on roads and other infrastructure, making long-term maintenance challenging. Transporting agricultural produce to markets is often difficult due to poor road conditions, especially after heavy rains. And lastly, the food security and livelihoods. Unpredictable weather patterns, including longer dry spells and intense typhoons, have escalated uncertainties in agricultural production, threatening food security and the traditional livelihoods of indigenous communities. And next, we will be tackling about the hydrosphere in Cordillera Administrative Region. Here are the water formation found in Cordillera Administrative Region. First, we have the Chico River in Kalinga and also the Abra River in Abra and the Agno River in Benguet and the Ibulao River in Ifugao. And in lakes, first we have the Lake Danom in Mountain Province and the Lake Tadyum in Benguet. Here is the common hydrosphere problems in Cordillera Administrative Region. The common hydrosphere problems in Cordillera Administrative Region include water pollution, watershed degradation, and issues with water supply and distribution, exacerbated by population growth and climate change related events like droughts and floods. These challenges are driven by factors such as deforestation, illegal mining, inadequate infrastructure, and a lack of research and monitoring. And here is the positive impact of hydrosphere in the region. First, we have the hydroelectric power generation. The region's major rivers such as the Agno support large dams like the Ambuklao, Binga, and San Roque, which are crucial for generating hydroelectric power that feeds the entire Luzon energy grid. And also the irrigation and agriculture. The river systems and groundwater storage provide an essential water for extensive irrigation. This sustains the region's unique agricultural landscape, including the iconic rice terraces and other farmlands in both the highlands and lowlands of northern Luzon, and also the biodiversity and ecosystem support. The rivers host a diverse range of freshwater species, including endemic and native fish species, highlighting the region's rich aquatic diversity. Healthy forest lands and watersheds help maintain the water cycle and support these ecosystems. And next, the water supply and regulation. The region's role as a major watershed ensures a continuous supply of water for downstream provinces, benefiting millions of people for various uses. Wetlands associated with the hydrosphere also help filter pollutants and regulate water flow, which can mitigate flooding. And also the ecotourism and livelihoods. The natural beauty of the rivers and the surrounding landscapes, including the rice terraces shaped by water-dependent agriculture, offer potential for sustainable ecotourism and provide a source of livelihood for local communities. And also the climate moderation. The presence of significant water bodies influence local climate and weather patterns, helping to moderate temperatures and playing a role in the transfer of energy through the water cycle. And here is the negative impact of hydrosphere in the region. First, we have the water pollution. Mining operations have led to the contaminations of water supplies with mine tailings and toxic trace elements like mercury and copper, affecting aquatic life and human health. Agricultural expansion also contributes to water degradation through the runoff of pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers. And also the altered river ecosystems. The construction of numerous hydropower dams and projects disrupts the natural flow of rivers, sediment distribution, and migration patterns for native fish species. This has contributed to a decline in water quality and biodiversity loss in river systems. And next, the vulnerability of indigenous practices. Traditional agricultural systems such as the Ifugao rice terraces, which rely on meticulous hydrological regulations, are increasingly vulnerable to shift in rainfall and extreme weather events.
Now moving on forward with the lithosphere, which introduces the topic of land formations, which refers to the earth and rock structures of the region. The most significant feature is the vast Cordillera Central or Cordillera Range in this region, and this massive mountain range stretches about 320 kilometers long from north to south. This range encompasses and defines all 6 provinces in the CAR. Mount Kabuyao. It is a mountain in Benguet province overlooking Baguio City. Its summit rises to more than 2,000 meters sea level or above sea level, and this mountain is often mistakenly thought to be Mount Santo Tomas, a taller mountain located right beside it. Mount Pulag, which is the highest peak in Luzon at 2,928 meters above sea level, which is most superior to Mount Kabuyao. It is famous for its incredible sea of clouds at dawn, which attracts many tourists. It also offers an exceptional view of the Milky Way galaxy before sunrise. The third example that we have here is the Sleeping Beauty Mountain, also called the Mount Patukan. It is a mountain ridge in Kalinga province, and it is named this way because the silhouette of the northern ridge looks exactly like a woman lying asleep. So it is usually best viewed from the west near the municipality of Tinglayan. So we have here rice terraces of the Philippines, a series of ancient hand-carved rice puddles, and they were built by the Ifugao people around 2,000 years ago and are a famous UNESCO World Heritage Site. They represent a perfect cultural landscape showing how humans can live in harmony with the mountain environment. We will now focus on the common lithosphere problems specifically in the CAR area. The region has common lithosphere problems, mainly landslides and unstable slopes, and the mountainous terrain and heavy rainfall increases the risk of these disasters. This issue are often made worse by human activities like constructions and mining, specifically in illegal mining which causes severe land degradation, deforestation, and contamination of water. Also, we need to take note that this specific area or this specific region is closer to the Pacific Ring of Fire, which contributes to overall lithospheric activities, which mainly means that it contributes to the shift of the ground. One of the positive impacts that we have for this region is the rich mineral resources. The land is rich in mineral resources, which is a positive impact for the economy. There are significant deposits of gold, copper, silver, and zinc, especially in Benguet province. And this just means that the mining industry contributes to the regional and national economy that the CAR explored. We also have agriculture and fertile soil as a positive impact of the said region. So it is a testament to the indigenous farming practices and the major tourist attractions of CAR. The land also supports a rich network of forest, which is under biodiversity and ecosystems, from broadleaf to mossy pine, which is great for biodiversity. These ecosystems provide essential services like cleaning the water and helping regulate the climate, and the stable landmass is the physical foundation for human settlements. The steep slopes and loose soil make the region highly vulnerable to landslides, mudslides, and rock slides. So widespread soil erosion contributes to severe siltation or dirt buildup in major reservoirs like the Ambucalao and San Roque dams. And mining operation causes extensive environmental damage, including land degradation and forest clearing. So sinking of land is also a consequence of mine blasting. The last part for the negative impacts to the region, which focuses more on the unsustainable agricultural practices, the expansion of vegetable farms and the use of inputs like pesticides and herbicides degrade water quality and contribute to soil degradation. So improper farming techniques like this can strip the soil of nutrients and expedite erosion. Urbanization and infrastructure development means the expansion of human settlements and infrastructure projects like roads and dams without sufficient geological considerations or further inputs or resources or further study in creating these roads and dams. This further disrupts the natural landscape, leading to slope failures and increased risk of disasters such as floods. Move on to the biosphere for this place or for this region. We have here a cool climate biosphere that fosters a unique ecosystems, which a high altitude isolated environment that acts like a biological island, allowing specialized unique plants and animal communities to evolve that are adapted only to the cool and misty conditions for this place. And for flora, we have the extensive Benguet pine forest, mossy forest at high altitudes, and pitcher plants. So the Benguet pine, also called a Pinus insularis, it is a characteristics of the lower slopes for the place or for the biosphere. And while the higher mountains feature misty mossy forest, rich in orchids and specialized carnivorous plants like pitcher plants. For fauna, it is home to the northern Luzon giant cloud rat, known locally as buwet or mutit. That's how they call it in that place. And the Philippine eagle in Apayao. So the presence of the critically endangered Philippine eagle here signifies that parts of the Apayao forest are still pristine. So it is enough to support a top-tier predator. This large rodent is endemic to the Cordillera cloud forests. So it actually plays a crucial role because it is one of the largest rodents in the world, and by consuming and later exerting the seeds of native trees, it actively helps regenerate the Cordillera forest ecosystems. The biodiversity is under threat for human activities, and this introduces the idea that the natural world is facing danger primarily due to human actions and pressures. First threat to nature that we have here in terms of the biosphere is that deforestation. Illegal logging removes mature trees, vital for water regulation, and the expansion of high value vegetable farming often involves clearing forests on steep slopes, which is both illegal and ecologically devastating. Poaching. It is an illegal hunting and capture of animal reduces the wild population of a specific species, especially like the cloud rat. The third threat to the biosphere for this the third threat for the biosphere is the invasive species. When non-local plant species are introduced, they often grow aggressively and dominate the area, choking out the highly specialized endemic plants that form the foundation of the unique Cordillera ecosystem. So it disrupts the balance that the ecosystem has been providing. We have here the impacts of biosphere loss on daily lives. First one is the loss of water regulation. So forest acts like sponges, right? And this analogy is key to the dense network of roots, and the spongy forest floor naturally absorbs rainfall and slowly release it over time, maintaining stream flow during dry periods. Without the forest sponge, water rushes down quickly, causing immediate destructions like flash floods that we currently are experiencing here in the Philippines below, and failing to recharge the underground water sources, causing water scarcity like drying up of springs and other water forms. Cultural erosions. Many indigenous rituals and traditions, medicines depends on specific plants and animals. So the traditional knowledge system of the Cordilleran people are often based on the use of local resources. So when a specific plant or animal goes extinct, the corresponding traditional medicine, ritual, or folk knowledge is lost, maybe forever. This presentation concludes by emphasizing that stewardship is key. So stewardship means taking responsible care of something valuable, and this is the core call to action to governments and residents alike. So to preserve the Cordillera region, a vital ecological gem that we have here in the Philippines, it is essential to understand how its atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere stay intact. So the final thought promotes a holistic management, arguing that protecting the region requires understanding the interconnectedness, protecting the biosphere, which represents the forest, and is the most effective way to protect the lithosphere, which prevents landslides, and the hydrosphere, which ensures clean water.